All right, so here's my presentation on my multimedia portfolio. Oops, let's go to the site, have it saved here. All right, so here it is. I used Muse to create this. It took me a long time to decide how to do it. Let's see, and if you notice, I found these buttons. They're basically free widgets, so it looks a little bit cooler than what Muse has. I like Muse, but it's kind of limited on what it has. So here's my home page. There's a welcome, about me, picture of me, who I am. You can read it and see. Obviously, I'm in Learning Technologies program. Let's see. Let's talk about this. So I've got all my pages here of all 7 of the projects. And then on my first page, I've got links. So the first one, actually the second one here, the resume. So when you click that, I have it going so that it pulls up my resume in case you're interested. And then the blog posts, I have them going directly to the WordPress. And I'm not going to click all of them because it's going to take a long time to go, but that's how I've done them. And then I also included a link for a website that I created for the website class. I can't remember the number, 5420 maybe. And then a video that I made a couple years ago when I was teaching math. Kind of fun to look at that. Oops, I guess I gotta stop that. Okay, so back to my home page. And the first one was text. So I have my document here, just my my design document listed here. Then of course here on all of these, I wasn't able to get them to be embedded, so they're going to go in open from each one. I have my instruction set, and then blog post number 2 that goes along with this. Then my next one is visual. Okay, so I basically modified my instruction set and just pretty much copied and pasted over here. I have each of the 9 steps. This is my daughter, and I illustrated the number of the step graphically by just having basically a countdown bar and then having it filled in one more for each step, just to kind of show what they're supposed to do next. In my document, I actually had an arrow that went around to show that if you were successful, you were good, and if you weren't, you were to go back from the beginning. Again, I have my design document, my instruction set, and also my blog post. And then to the visual and text. Okay, so basically they're pretty much the same pictures, a little bit different. Able to tell you exactly what you're doing makes it a little bit easier. I will go ahead and pull up my instruction set because it does look a little bit different on here. It's just a little bit more graphical. I mean, looks better because it's got the things pinned to a piece of wood, so it looks a little bit nicer. All right, and then I've got my blog posts 5 and 6 on here. I'm going to go to audio. It's going to pull up, okay. And I actually like the way that the audio instruction looks better on my website than it does on the PDF that I made, because I found that the buttons weren't really participating with me. So I just start off with talking about what they're going to be learning. And it's actually kind of interesting because this is something really hard to teach using just auditory, because there's a lot of, like, you have to see things in order to do it. So it's hard to just listen to things such as that. And I just thought of something I need to add. I didn't put it on here. I need to add my audio mashup on here. I'm going to come back and add that before I turn this in, because I forgot to add that. So I'm going to come back and do that. So there's my audio instruction. When you touch them, they all work. Okay, so I think that worked out pretty good. After that was my audio visual. This one was tough. I think it turned out pretty good. I made this part of the document in InDesign. So when I do that, pull up my instruction, right, and it's got my PDF, and obviously you have to download it in order for it to work. So it works where you're basically looking at the guide saying, you know, number 1, make sure you have this correct embouchure. Number 2, make sure you have the correct posture. And then I have it where if you click the rain cloud, you get a bad sound, and then this sun, you get a good sound, and then just some optional fun song here with the bird. But I had a hard time getting the sound embedded in Muse because it has those large audio file things. So I went ahead and just attached them here on the side, and it actually just downloads the file or plays it, I guess in this case. Okay, and then I've also got my blog posts. All right, and then we've got video, which is pretty self-explanatory. I've got a link to my YouTube video here. That's my daughter. I'm forcing her to help me with this. I have my design document, I have my instruction set, my blog post number 11, and then I also included my video mashup. This one was the easiest one for me to do, but I did it last, so it didn't really turn out the way that I wanted it to, but I think it kind of does what it needs to do, but I think it could have been better. And then the last one was the multimedia. So I went ahead and just designed this multimedia using the InDesign, and I just modified the buttons here, and actually learned a lot about InDesign, about using the master slides, which is kind of cool. So when they start here, I think it's popping up. They start here. Big arrow tells you where to start. It's going to go slow. All right. So first thing is they're wanting to know, do you have the right embouchure? So there's the picture again for them to look at, and then when you hit play, it's going to play. Right, it's the same audio from my other audio instruction. And then are you sitting up straight? So it gives them a picture, a visual for that. So that after that, they go to listen and learn. And this one is going to, tells you to listen to a good sound and a bad sound. So this one is the good sound. I'm hoping that they'll understand because of the sun. And also it ties into the other one. And then the bad sound is the clouds. So there's the good, it works, and then there's the bad. All right, and then the watch me, and I just realized I forgot to put the video in there, so I'm going to go ahead and go back and put that in. I'm not going to do the entire presentation again, but I'll go and add that before I submit it. And then the last one is the test yourself. Basically, it's doing a sound with beats and making sure that they can mimic that sound. So it gives the 4 beats, and then it gives the sound. All right, well, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I think this went really well, although I think I always do better when I'm constrained for time, but this was a little over the edge. But anyways, I'm going to go back and add this to the Watch Me. I forgot to do that, and then I'm going to add my audio mashup. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Green, for this class. I really, really enjoyed it, and I also appreciate your understanding, and I hope to have you for another class. All right, have